Hi. My name is Jasmine. I go by TYICE, which means to treasure yourself in creation every day. Welcome to my channel. Here we will talk about things that are important, things that can change your perspective, and ways to connect. Let's grow together. Let's go together. Let's heal together. And let's yield together. This is a safe space cultivated by myself, JTV. Welcome. Peace. Oh yeah. Do not forget to like and subscribe to my channel. I look forward to meeting all of you. Deuces. Peace. Good evening. My name is Jasmine Black. I typically go by TYICE, which means to treasure yourself in creation every day. I have been guided to share a few conversations with you, YouTube family. May the information that I share on my channel assist you in unknown ways, inspire you in unknown ways, and be a light unto you in the way. Today's theme is centered within cause and effect, and what that truly is and what it means for each of us. To dive into this message, we will start by defining cause and effect. So, what is a cause? A cause is a person, thing, event, or action that produces an effect, result, or consequence. And this is a definition based off of Google, yes. The origin or reason behind why something happens, often acting as a catalyst or spark for subsequent action. So a cause is a reason. A cause is a purpose. A cause has a place. What is an effect? An effect, according to Google, is a change, a consequence, an outcome produced by a cause, action, or influence. So the effect is what is produced based by the cause. So what that means specifically to myself is that nothing happens by accident. Nothing happens by coincidence. Everything follows law. Everything follows dharma. Everything follows karma. Dharma is the cosmic order and the natural law of the universe. Karma is cause and effect, which is the direct consequence of one's actions, thoughts, words, and deeds. Karma is neither a punishment or a reward. Karma is determined solely by the individual's intent, unconsciously or consciously. And I want to ask, what is a reflection? Because to me, an effect is a reflection of an action, a reflection of something. Most of us follow religion. The religion is, well, God is the cause of all things, the source of all things. So we, myself and you, are the effect of the cause. We are the reflection of the Creator, which means that we follow the same law. We have the same intelligence. We have the same heights as the source. So let's go back to, well, let me, I have notes, so, I'm going based off of what I wrote. So man is the reflection of the cause, which is the all. And I'm not saying man as only men. We say man as a term of plural, so in terms, man represents woman and man. And that's a great question, why? But that's according to the philosophers and the ideologists that have cultivated the English language that we speak. But I want to state that reflection is the business of men and women, meaning that what we reflect or what we see reflected from our source, because we are the cause. God and God's children or God's creation cannot be separated. There is no such thing as being separated from the Creator. That is what religion teaches us today, that we have to search outside of ourselves for the Creator, which is a lie. Well, I will say I don't follow that. I cannot separate the Creator and its creations. How can you separate the two? But that's another topic. But again, reflection is the business of woman and man, meaning that everything that we see in the world is based off of our actions, based off of our thoughts, based off of our patterns and our habits. So we are creating the world around us every second. Everything comes from us because we are the source. So back to karma as cause and effect, meaning that there is a cause that reflects. The light spectrum is the reflection. The light spectrum is a reflection of the cause. The light spectrum contains 7 colors that the eyes can see, which produce light, which produce color, which produce hue. We are the spectrum of light from the source. Each color of the spectrum of light represents emotions, patterns, thoughts, and behaviors. So choosing to be more intentional with our choices, with our words, with our thoughts, and with our actions on this planet can create ripple effects that affect not just yourself, but can affect others. There are two selves. There is a higher self and a lower self. And if you are familiar with the chakra system, the higher self is the indigo color, and the lower self is the red color, according to the chakras and the light spectrum, which everything in creation is the spectrum of light. We are light. Our natural state of being is not light, is light. So each of these colors live between polarities, meaning good and bad, dark and light, masculine and feminine, hot and cold, etc., etc. Everything lives between poles. So I do want to wrap this up by stating that if we live within more intention, consciously and unconsciously, we can become more aware of who we are. We can affect others in ways that can help them with seeing the light within themselves. In today's time, there's a lot of darkness because there exists a lot of red energy. And as a child myself, I represented red energy as the devil. Of course, I grew up, practicing Christianity and religion. Most of us grew up that way, especially if you are so-called Black in America. We were mainly brought up within the Christian faith. So my ideology as a growing young lady, blue represented the angel and red represented the devil. So I would say that I hate the color red because it represents the devil. And becoming the woman that I am today, I know that now red is associated with greed, scarcity, fear, hate, jealousy, envy. So if a person only exudes red, that means they are living out of harmony with the universe. Because, again, we are the spectrum of light, and we exude each color. So this is why we have to be in harmony. And you can only be in harmony choosing and living based off of intention. Because intention is the driving force. Intention is a wheel. Where there's no wheel, there is no way. So if you do not have a purpose, you're not going anywhere. Which is unrealistic, because everything that exists that you can see has a purpose. Everything that exists that you can see, hear, taste, smell, think has a place. Nobody defines that place but you. You are God. You are Goddess. You have a higher self and a lower self. Your higher self is one with the Creator. Your lower self is the part of you that lives within its carnal self. We must remember that as human beings, so-called human beings, we are spirit first, which is the formless, experiencing the form. So I'm saying all that to say deliberate actions carry more weight than actions of negativity. And negativity is not bad. Negativity does not have to be bad, because we need what? Positive and negative. Everything has a negative and a positive. The moral of the story is, let's choose to live with an intention, because each of us belong here. Everybody comes into this world, into the portal of the womb, to exist as a physical being for a reason. And each of us have unique abilities and special talents. No one can be duplicated. Nothing can be duplicated. Everything exists in its natural state. So there's no one else that can be me, and there's no one else that can be you. So your purpose is to realize your purpose, to understand your purpose, and to fulfill your mission. Because there's nobody else on a planet within the universe that can do what you were created to do. And I'm going to close with this. What goes up must come down, and what goes around comes around, which means that what you sow, you shall reap, because you are the master and the student. Peace.